The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
We are live. We are live here at Takeo After Dark. Welcome, my fellow human beings. John Barba here, along with Dave Holdorf, and our special guest tonight, Lesley McGlenen, aka the Pipe Wench from the wilds of British Columbia. How you doing, Lesley?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Oh, awesome, 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 man. It's good to see you. I'm glad you're with us. And
Yeah.
you know, tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, what is it about Lesley McGlenen that makes you the pipe wench, and how do you fit into our industry? I mean, you've got your own company, and you're doing some other cool stuff industry wise too. Let's hear from Lesley about what makes you the pipe wench and what makes you our guest.
Well, my name started the Pipe Wench. I think a few people maybe that are on here probably know it already, but um, back in the day when I started out, journeyman that I worked under, he started calling me PW as a nickname, and I asked him one day what it stood for, and he's like, "'Cause you're the Pipe Wench." And then I liked it, and it like kind of just stuck. And then I'm like, oh, that would be a good catchy name for my company, and just kind of went from there and got drew up a little logo. Had my buddy draw that up. He's a tattoo artist, and then went with that. And most people like it, some people don't like it, but they don't need to be my clients either. So
How could they not like that? I guess. Well,
I don't know. I
yeah.
guess I got the name in there before things started to change a little. So I don't know if I'd be able to open that name now in business, but it works. It's the best of both worlds. So
Well, there you
Oh,
go. There you go.
it definitely
yeah,
is. It definitely is. It just fits everything all around. I was talking at the kitchen table the other night with the family there, my mother-in-law and everybody, and it was just like, wait, what's the name?
yeah,
So I said, it's a great company, and and Leslie's a great person at the same time, and I
oh,
couldn't wait
thanks.
for tonight to be here. So, because we obviously know each other outside of, so to speak, work, and we've had a lot of fun together
Yeah,
and whatnot. So it is you got to hang out with your friends too in this industry. So yeah,
yeah,
yep.
yeah. I started out like 12, 13 years ago now. And during that time, I transitioned moving from Alberta to BC. And I swear the name really propelled me further in the new community that I'm in now because it is catchy and it catches your eye. So just putting it in the local newspaper, and then word gets around and people start referring you, and then you go to the grocery store and people, are you the Pipe Wench? And I don't actually put my name on my ad. I just contact the Pipe Wench, and like everybody that calls is like, so what is your real name? Or we just get chatting, and then it's like I send the invoice and they're like, well, what was your name? I'm like, oh, it's Lesley. So it doesn't, like, that doesn't even come up. So I think like just that side of things, like marketing yourself, branding unique to yourself, will really push you further along. Like that's like, I think my brand is a good example of that, where you can kind of embrace your own uniqueness and put it out there. You'll go a lot further than it just being like a numbered company in a way. But yeah, and then now I've transitioned again where I kind of am doing a hybrid, where I teach at TRU, Trades University, in Kamloops. So I do that Monday to Thursday, teaching a plumbing foundation course. So it's a pre-apprenticeship course. So a lot of new tradespeople wanting to get into trades and plumbing. And then I do Pipe Wench on nights and weekends, and then when I don't have a contract with them. So it's really quite busy this time of year. We're in that shoulder season where everyone wants things winterized coming up for winter where I live, and then with the school workload on top of that. So I'm really looking forward to Christmas break.
There you go. Hey,
Yeah.
I want to share something with the audience, and folks, everybody, kind of let us chime in from where you are in the comments section, both on any of our live formats or here on GoToWebinar, just so we know where you are. And if you have any questions for Lesley, please chime in, because we've got a very interesting and fascinating person. But I was looking at your Instagram today, and I want these people to know that you are living your best life. Everything I know
Yeah.
about you, the times that we've met, we played golf together, and at trade and got hang out at trade shows and things. You are one of the few people in this world that I can look at and point to. That person is living their very best life. Explain this picture.
That picture was taken a few years ago around Christmas, and there's a lake back home, Westwood Lake, I believe it's called, and we walked around it with my family, and we were there with like my sister-in-law and my brand new baby niece. She was like maybe 5 months old, and we finished up at this park, and it was like it kind of was rainy, cloudy, and then the sun came out, and I just like jumped on the like playground equipment, and then my mom or my aunt just snapped this picture of me because it was like the sun's out finally. Because I don't know if any of you, like, it was on Vancouver Island, and it's pretty cloudy, rainy there for the majority of the winter, and that's where I grew up also. And when the sun comes out there in the winter, is like you've got to catch the rays. So it was just kind of that picture just encapsulated that.
Yeah, it's perfect with the rays coming down and everything.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at this one. Now, this is you and Christina and a hairy
Yeah.
gent at our booth a couple of was it 2 years ago?
Yeah, I think that was Chicago.
That was Chicago. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That was at Chicago.
Yeah,
And you are a regular visitor at AHR, and
I am.
again, I'm the lead. I'd say the leading member of Team Canada in the Takeo Ryder Cup. So we were saying earlier that Lesley and I are the only two golfers who are undefeated in Takeo Ryder Cup competition. So I think we're going to have to have a little challenge this year.
Yeah, this year will be our 5th year doing it.
I think, yeah, we missed Chicago, but that's because I was a weenie and wouldn't get on a plane. So.
Yeah, I think it was Chicago. It was the weather, right?
Right.
Yeah,
It's also,
but yeah, this will be because we're cycling back now to Vegas.
Yep, and that was where that's where we had our first
I've
one.
got my stack of quarters. I'm going to be whipping up
All right.
again. Every year I get Canadian quarters and American quarters, and I like make little Takeo Cup ball markers with the year on it for everybody. Like, what can I contribute? I remember the first year making those and showing up and like, I've got my quarters to give to everyone. And like, John shows up with like balls and everything. Like, I'm like, oh my God, here I'm with like my homemade presents for people. But now it's like, now I do it every year. I've got to do it every year. Like, I'm just kind of that traditional kind of person.
Absolutely. Because Lord knows Miller doesn't bring anything to the table, but we're glad you do.
Yeah, it's a good time. I'm excited.
And this is Lesley's van, the Pipe Wench, and again, no name. We don't know who you are, but you are the Pipe Wench. So that's a great van that just is certainly eye catching.
Thanks. Yeah, it is. It's great. That logo is great.
All right, and what's with the wrench? What's with the the Pipe Wench with the big wrench? What's going on? Where
that was at I think Wet Show. The Rigid booth, they have this big styrofoam wrench and everyone takes pictures with it. And Rigid had like a competition a few years ago, like during COVID. Everyone was in their isolation things, and the online community really like amped up. And they did like a beer competition where you had to open a beer or a pop with a tool. So in my mind, obviously, it went straight to smashing beer cans open with a wrench. So I did that. Like, they had a live competition so I signed up for it, and then I won the competition because I like smashed the beer can open with a wrench and then chugged it. So I won I know, right? So I like, when I went to that booth, I was like, oh, I got to do it again, but it's just styrofoam, so I didn't think it would work. But I ended up winning like this whole summer pack from Rigid, where it was like cornhole game and a cooler, a backpack. I still use the cooler every day for work. The cornhole, we use it every summer. I bring it out to the tournament I host for the Babes tournament that Takeo sponsors every year for women in trades. So I have those out there for that. Like, it's the gift that keeps on giving, really. That's what I think.
There you go. We do
Yeah.
have a comment out there from Audrey Curran, who says, I work with Lesley at TRU, and I feel we are truly lucky to have her as part of our plumbing department. Just wondering, which do you prefer, teaching or the field work?
Ooh, good one, Audrey. I like them both. Like, it's hard to choose because I still like working on the tools, having that interaction when you really like come across someone that's really in need. I've had a client recently and her husband is at end of life. And so when it's like they can't get anybody else to show up and they just need, you know, their toilet to flush properly, and for me to be able to do and show up for them that way, it really, I think it goes a long way because it's one less thing she has to worry about during that time.
Mhm.
And then on the other hand, with the teaching, like it has its challenges as well. But this, just like a few months ago, I was in the wholesaler grabbing stuff for a job, and one of my students from last year was in there with his foreman, and he introduced me to his foreman, and I got to like kind of converse with his new employer, and it was just really great, like seeing him excel and like continue on with the schooling because I think there's about 6 or 8 students from my course from last year that have continued on that are in jobs, and they're actually in their second year of plumbing class right now with Audrey. So you see them in the halls, and then they kind of like reiterate like, oh yeah, remember when you said this, and now that I'm in the field, it's clicking. And so that is a really great feeling, like knowing like you kind of left a little bit of a mark that maybe they've learned something and they'll take that on in their future. So it like they both have their benefits that are, you can't really put a number on, you know? Like,
It's all, yeah, it's part of the mix that makes, kind of life worth living, I would say.
yeah, yeah. Like if I was just in this for like the dollar bills, you know, you probably would just be, I would be pushing more on like the business side of things, but I think it's a good blend for me where I live and work and the lifestyle that I want to have. I like, obviously we've touched on golf. I like to golf. The
Hmm.
teaching career allows way more time for that as well. And then by keeping my toes in still working in the field, you know, I kind of can keep up on a few things that students are like bringing back to class and asking questions on that. If you've maybe been teaching for 20 years and you're not still working in the field, it's a little harder to relate sometimes for kind of just being out of it. But I think it makes for a good hybrid at the moment until I want
There
to
you go.
Oh,
hang my tool belt up. But
Yeah.
I
I like
agree
doing both.
100%.
Yeah.
I actually showed up at this school today where I'm doing the training session at, and they had some Taco pumps installed overhead, and like, oh, I don't think these are set up properly. And I was just like, Dave, do you mind? I'm like, hell no, man. I want to get back. So I was up that ladder immediately, and I just started doing all the setups and whatnot. And I was just like, oh, I love that portion of it too. And I also like, seeing the light bulb go off in a classroom too,
Yeah.
or running into somebody that you met, that you trained years ago, and all of a sudden they come by and they're like,
Yeah.
man, I use what you taught every day.
Yeah.
And it was just, yeah, I love that portion of it. Exactly right. Yep.
Yeah. And like another aspect too, like Audrey and I are female plumbers, Red Seal plumbers, gas fitters at our university. And we both are involved in the women in trades aspect of that also. And when we teach a women in trades sampler, you can tell like it's refreshing for the students to see like our different career backgrounds and where we've come from. And then they can relate to that. And like being involved with that, and they're walking the halls, and they kind of get a trade sampler where they get to do carpentry, plumbing, electrical, HVAC, and then they can choose from there which aspect they want to go down. And even if they didn't end up in plumbing or HVAC, just seeing them in the hall, like they're now taking power engineering, and like they stop and have a chat with you. It was like, oh yeah, like I'm in this course now, and how are you doing? You're still here, and you know, those things are awesome. Like to see
Yeah.
people being engaged in the trades, because there's going to be a huge opening, really. Like I think 30% of the workforce in trades are retiring in the next 3 to 5 years because of the age gap. So it
They're
is
all
a
my
need.
age.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
and it's like where are they going to get that mentorship from? Like if you don't have like an Audrey or myself, in a way, like in this transferring over to pass on the knowledge, like, and keep your guys' knowledge in as well. Everyone retires out. It'll make for like an interesting dynamic in the future.
That's I think you kind of summed up why Dave and I enjoy what we do too, for that very same reason. It's you pass it on. I mean, we're renting this knowledge, right? None of us came out of the womb knowing this. We had people who helped us learn, and you just pass it along to the next group. It doesn't belong to anybody. It's just that next group has to make use of it, just like we have. So I think that's admirable. I want to throw this back out to the audience on all of our platforms. If you got any questions for Lesley, please chime in. We do have prizes for the best questions too. By the way, we've got 3. Winter's a coming, so we have 3 Carhartt watch caps to give away, as well as a hooded Carhartt zippered sweatshirt.
Nice.
So nice, I might take that one. I mean, we may not give that one away. That might just come to me. I don't know. We got a question here from George Botner on GoToWebinar. How do I make presenters full size? Oh, they're just 3 thumbnails on the left window. I think if you grab there's. Go ahead, Dave.
I was gonna say there's a spacer bar in between it. You might be able to resize it. Just grab it on your screen.
There you go.
I'm trying to remember right now, and that's for those of you that are on GoToWebinar right now. Right. So that's where that question came in. So obviously on YouTube and everything else right now, it's not that way. So the only way for that to happen is to John to stop sharing a screen. So
well, we're not going to do that because we have training to get to. Here's one from Leroy Hogland. How much better are the Northern Lights in Canada than the U.S.?
Ooh, actually, we had Northern Lights last night.
Yeah, we could see them here too. Yeah, they were all over.
So I think it all depends on where you are with the cloud coverage and everything like that. I've got friends like where I used to work up in Fort McMurray. They were a lot brighter up there. Like you're just that closer to the Aureole Borealis. So the further north you go, the brighter and more like dancey they get. I think that like our Northern Lights here last night were a little muted, and if I held my camera up, I could see them clear through my phone, like to take a picture, versus my friends could just see them with their like plain eye up north, but they're like 16 hours north of here driving. So I think
maybe you could drive 16 hours north and still be in Canada, because
I know
the other side
right?
of Canada is like Russia, I think, right? If you just keep going north. If you just keep going north, you'll be going south eventually.
Yeah, and that's like not even, you can keep on going further. Like it's so vast.
That's a big country.
So I do have one question that came in over on YouTube right now, and Robert Jameson says, Jesus, what gas pipe are you installing with a wrench like that? So
yeah, right.
But that was his question, so that may qualify, John. We'll see, right?
That is a pretty good question. That's a clubhouse leader right there. I got to tell you. I got to tell you. And this is another one from Audrey. The best question for Lesley: what's your favorite golf course?
Ooh, well, I have to say Talking Rock.
Oh, well, yes, you would have to say that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's like 15 minutes down the road. I think it was like voted 19th best public course in British Columbia, or might have been Canada, I think a few years ago. And I think it's like just a little bit off the beat, like off the path, where most people just might not think of it. And so we can always get a tee time, which is nice because golf is getting more popular in the last few years, and it's getting more expensive and stuff. And they still have some reasonable rates. And there's no houses on the golf course. There's like 2 up on like hole 15, which if you're hitting those houses, then you've got a serious slice. So they shouldn't come into play.
I'm looking at you, Dave, except you're left-handed, so that.
Yeah, it's just one of the best places to be in the summer. I think it's like we don't have memberships there, but we get like club passes, like a club card, so you get a bit of a discount. And it's a resort based golf course, but it has that homey feel. Like everyone kind of that is local knows everyone that works there, and they've got a great hot dog at the Halfway Shack. It's like it's known for its hot dogs. So on the 9th hole at my tournament, I do that Babes GDGT. It's the goddamn golf tournament for the babes, and we raise money for women in trades.
I wanted to ask you about that. So go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So this year it was fully sold out again, full shotgun, double shotgun, 144 women.
Wow.
Yeah. And the 9th hole, I dedicated it to one of my friends actually passed away in the spring in a skiing accident. And she had, her online Instagram handle was Golf and Dogs. And so she would go around, she was sponsored by a company where she lived in Edson and sponsored to go around and rate different hot dogs around different golf courses. So I did a dedication hole to her and had an 8-foot hot dog cutout like in front of the lake. And you had to buy red, yellow, or green. So ketchup, mustard, or relish golf balls. And you had to try to load your dog up. So you had to try and hit the target. And then the money we raised, I gave to her husband to put towards for her her daughter. She had a 6-year-old daughter, so it goes towards her school in the future or something like that, whatever he needed help with. And we had I had 24 inflatable hot dogs floating in the lake, like the pond leading up to the Halfway Shack, in hopes that people would, buy more hot dogs at the golf course. Anyways, I'll have to I'll have to send you some of the photos there. It was pretty epic. How I had to screw down. I had a ladder when I had the 8-foot hot dog cutout secured to and staked down, so if it got windy it wouldn't blow over. So it was just like those. I like doing those fun, unique kind of things that, it's unique to the golf course, it's unique to my friend, and then people turn the corner at 8 to come around and they're like, what is this massive inflatable thing doing in the pond? We had one of those 12-foot inflatable hot dogs, it goes behind a boat. And we carted that out and had that floating in the pond on the golf course.
Now the Babes GT. This is your third or second? Third, right?
That was my third. So this coming year will be my 4th annual. And
the goal is you started out and you raise money for women in trades educational programs, correct? I think that's wonderful.
Yeah. So we actually this year we've set it up. I have to set up a few meetings with TRU, and we're going to actually have a grant or a couple grants in the Babes GDGT name at the TRU. So any women in trades that enrolled in an apprenticeship program, we're kind of focusing in 2nd and 3rd year, 4th year, where they don't get as much funding through the government or through programs, where that's kind of where the areas they're lacking, and they can apply for the bursary or the grant, and then we can issue them out. So we're thinking of doing multiple grants, so it goes to multiple students, and it can help them with their books or tuition or tools. So they have to be enrolled in the apprenticeship program and have an employer, and then fill out a few question questionnaire to meet like certain requirements, so that we know that like the money is going directly into their hands. So I'm pretty proud of that. This year we raised $3,800. So I'm pretty happy with that amount. Next year, every year I want to like double and triple everything that
There you
we
go.
that we do. So so yeah, I'm hoping this year we raise more than last year, and then we can really, when it goes into programs and then the people come back and they thank you, and you can see like they really appreciate it and helping them through their career. Like when I went through the trades, I didn't have any funding or anything. I had to work, and then you take out, you're on EI for 2 months, so you're getting half your wage while you're going to school. So I really think like the funding goes a long way. Like books and everything nowadays too is getting so expensive. So I think every little bit will help, like it's rising cost of groceries alone. So
No, we're happy to
tools.
be. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, and you add tools on top of that, like every little bit helps. And yeah, you guys have been a huge supporter from day one, and I'm so grateful to have you guys on board every year. It's amazing. And like the whole thing is just electric. Like I can't even explain it. The room erupts with just insanity. It's crazy.
Well, let me ask you this. If Dave and I agreed to wear dresses, could we come and play?
You could come and support and work a hole.
Okay, that we can, but would we have to wear dresses to do that?
You wouldn't have to wear dresses to do that. No.
Okay, all right.
But I will write that down.
Okay. I know Dave would be willing, and if he does it, I'd do it too because I want to support him.
Yeah. This year, I'm actually doing the pre-registration in December.
Too.
Yeah, get it in that pattern.
There you go.
I'm actually doing the pre-registration in early December this year because it sells out. And I need to get ahead of it for like ordering prizes and stuff and lining up sponsors. So I'm actually releasing that December 6th. So it's 4 days before my 40th birthday for the 4th annual edition. So
why do I feel that alcohol is going to be involved here somewhere?
Oh yeah. So I'm like, and this year actually, like last year, the main grand prize was a lady won a free houseboat trip for 12 to 16 people. Whoa. So it's like a $4,500 value gift where they get to rent a houseboat. They cruise the Shuswap Lake for 3 to 4 nights. And the winner has already booked it for the Sunday after the tournament of this year. So
I love it.
I'm talking with the houseboat company, and we're trying to work out a deal so that everyone that registers this year, if they want to take a trip, we're going to call it the goddamn houseboat trip. And they can rent boats, and we'll have like maybe 2 or 3 houseboats full of women and do like a tour of Shuswap Lake. There's a golf course actually on the lake that will pick you up by boat, or you can dock your boat at the marina and they'll pick you up and you can golf. It's like Mara Hills. So I want to try to line that up for one day on the lake where we drive our houseboat up to the golf course and get off and go golf 18. Like how fun would that be?
That sounds awesome.
Right? Yeah, so I'm kind of like stepping it up each year. Last year we did Sunday Fun Day. So after the tournament, I had a drink sponsor. I had Captain's Village Marina here in town. They sponsored the event. We had a fun putt competition. We had a long drive competition into the lake. So everyone hit biodegradable balls off the dock into the lake. And we took out 2 pontoon boats full of like 30 women. And we just cruised around Copper Island.
What could go wrong?
Right? Yeah, it was fabulous. It was just great. So it was like this year now we're like amping it up. Sunday Fun Day is going to be like a whole trip. So it's it's fun to organize these things. Like I have fun doing it, and then it's a good cause in the same breath, like giving back to an industry that's given me my life. So
Well, that brings me to got a couple questions here. Then we'll get into our we'll bring the Lesley portion down and get into our training. Unless the group really still wants to keep. Why would they not want to? Why would they want this to stop? I mean, this has been awesome. But one was let's see. This was from Omer. Does Lesley love peanut butter on everything, or is that just John? Thank you, Omer. I appreciate that. I think that's been a running takeover. You like mustard? Okay. This is a running gag with Omer. I love peanut butter more than I love peanut butter more than I love almost anything in life. You could put peanut butter on a shoe and I would enjoy it. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I like peanut butter, but I like to put mustard on a lot of things. So that would be my go-to.
There you go. All right. And let's see, from Christopher, what made you want to get into the HVAC trade instead of something like the medical field, nursing, lumberjack? I didn't know lumberjack was in the medical field, but that works for me. And that just makes me think of a song, but we don't need to go there. And at what age did you know that this was your field?
I didn't really know. I actually worked for my dad, laboring for his like a development company. They built condos and stuff and they had to lay me off. So the plumber offered me a job. And then I took that job and the apprenticeship board came around and got me signed up. And I kind of just went with it and then fell into just doing plumbing. Like my dad suggested maybe electrical, but it also was the electrician wasn't offering me a job.
Aim higher,
right?
Aim higher than an electrician.
And like when I got into like high school, like when I went to high school, they didn't push the trades a whole lot for women. They pushed home economics and like counseling and teaching and stuff like that. And so I wanted actually to be a home economics teacher. So like sewing and cooking and that. And so my first year of university was all built around that. And then I really just wasn't clicking. And I went traveling and then started working for my dad and then got offered the job plumbing, kept with that. Once I started with that, it was kind of like, well, if once I get my ticket, I'll have it. And if I want to change careers, I can always go back to that. But I just always stuck with the plumbing industry. Even like I got my journeyman ticket and I actually got laid off because I put all my eggs in one basket. And so I went and had to go work at the wholesaler for a year after getting my journeyman. So that was like a huge little ego pill to swallow. But it was great because I learned a whole different side of the industry. So I learned the whole side of sales side of things and working in, shipping and receiving and delivering and all of that. And then was able to take that like on my side once I opened my own business. Kind of used all those contacts and stuff to my advantage on that side of things. And then you kind of come back now full circle. Now I'm actually teaching plumbing.
There you go. Instead of home ec. Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of home ec, which is kind of like, I sit there some days like, whoa, this is a total mind, mental thing. You're like,
I knew it.
I kind of just went 20 years in a total circle here.
Christopher, that's a fantastic question. And you get a hat. That's a hat-worthy question right there, Christopher. So, Christine, if you get Christopher Pesatine's info, we will get you that Carhartt cap to keep your lid warm all winter long. So awesome. And then now we've got both Ernest and Leroy, because they're regulars. They know how I feel about these things. They want to know if you like oatmeal raisin cookies, because I hate them.
It depends. They've got to be like a soft oatmeal raisin cookie, like texture soft, not like hard, crunchy.
I know. I think that the only good oatmeal raisin cookie is a garbage can oatmeal. No, is a cookie of a file. Yeah, it's just there's no such thing as a good oatmeal raisin cookie.
Yeah, I do love oatmeal and I like raisins, but they can't be the hard. Like my dad loves Dad's oatmeal cookies. They're like hard oatmeal cookies, and I'm just like, oh, it's like cardboard to me.
I'll tell you, if you took the raisins out and put peanut butter on it, okay, I could eat the oatmeal part of the cookie.
Yeah.
But raisins are rotted grapes. We had this discussion last time. They're rotten. grapes. They're not fit for human consumption. That's all there is to it.
So we did have, and it's related right to the training tonight. So the last question,
Sweet.
maybe, if we want it to be the last one,
Yeah.
do you have a preference, zone valves or circulators when installing a hydronic system? So that was the last question coming in from Otis on YouTube.
I don't really have a preference. I do like all of my installs. I've mostly installed circulators. This house I'm doing currently, I'm taking over, someone else has started it and they've done zone valves. So I'm doing it that way. It all just depends on the client and the design that is put forth from the plans and what's going to work best. I don't really have a preference, but my experience mostly has just been in circulators for zoning. So
It's an acceptable answer. There you go.
yeah.
Can you stick around, Lesley, as we go through this?
Yes, I can stick around.
Awesome. And as a thank you for your graciously joining us this evening, we do have some lovely parting gifts for you.
Yay.
We have an Eddie Bauer ladies fleece vest, which is very nice.
Ooh.
The aforementioned Carhartt watch cap, because I know you like those.
Yeah.
And well, it says here a dozen Pro V1s, but I got a feeling it's only going to be 9. If I get my hands on the box before they mail it out, it's only going to be 9. I'll tell you that right now.
Nice.
Wait,
I like it.
More than 9 in a box? Because every time you give it to me, there's only I only get 6.
Well, I get you the special half dozen. They're cheaper that way, Dave.
Yeah, he's like this whole time. He's like this whole time.
This whole time there's supposed to be 12.
Yeah, what?
All right, yeah, and Rich McGrath he says, "Come on, pick a side, Lesley, pick a side." Said, I think that's the prudent answer personally, because we're going to talk about which is better. Audience, if you're on YouTube, LinkedIn, or whatever, and on GoToWebinar, just type in your preference. There's no right or wrong answer here as far as I'm concerned, but I'd like to just get a general idea of what we're talking about. So which do you prefer? Do you prefer zone valves or do you prefer circulators? Type in your answers and we'll mosey along in our presentation.
Nice.
This is a great debate, and you see it on some of the Facebook groups. The discussion gets pretty spirited, and everybody's absolutely 100% correct in their way of looking at things. It used to be fist fight material, but I think that's kind of gone away a little bit.
Dude, no, there was just one this week or the end of last week where it was getting nasty. Oh, it got heated a couple of times.
On Facebook, on one of the Facebook groups?
Yeah, one of the Facebook groups that were out there. I don't remember which one it was, but it was getting pretty heated on there. I was just like, wow. It's I just watched. I didn't need to
that's the safest thing to do, man. That's the safest thing to do.
There was one comment that I put in there. Actually, I think I was the first person to comment, and then it just went ballistic after that. So the guy was asking about making it clean looking, when I showed him a new clean looking install. So that was it. Yep.
The feedback from TRU, like some of the students, like on Audrey's class currently, and a few of our other instructors, like they're coming back with the majority of them are using circulators. Mm-hmm. But I think it all depends on who you're working with and who you're working for and all of that as well, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to throw a little curveball at everybody. All right. We're going to take a field trip. All right. We're going to get on an imaginary bus all together. All right. The whole interweb of us. We're going to get on a little bus. We're going to take a field trip. Okay. You're going to have to get your parents to sign the permission slip, pack a little lunch, and we're going to go to a bunch of different houses that are hydronically heated in pick your neighborhood. It doesn't really matter. We're all going to go to a bunch of these houses. And the question I have for you people out there, which one of these houses is heated with circulators and which one is heated with zone valves? Unless you go in the basement and look, you can't tell, right? You can't tell. There's not a person within the sound of my voice, and I think we reach globally now on Takeo After Dark. There's not a person within the sound of my voice that can walk into any home, stand in the hallway for a minute in the middle of winter and say, yeah, that feels like zone valve heat to me. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. designed and installed properly, you're going to be just fine. You're just fine. And Douglas Specht, you get a hat, man. Is it a magic bus? Christina, we got to give Douglas a hat for that. That was a good one. That was a good one. And one of my favorite Who songs, by the way, Magic Bus. That goes back to, well, we don't need to know what to really get into the details of what that goes back to. Let's just say it was, in fact, a magic bus. Now that we understand that there's no comfort difference, we just have to ask ourselves why. Why do we do things the way we do them? What is it that makes us think that it's the right way, sometimes / the only way? And if we are one way or the other, why do we do things like this? Now, I, for the life of me, can't quite comprehend what was going through the installer's mind when he said, this is the right way to do hydronics. It's either that or he figured out a way to grow circulators hydroponically in his basement, and it's harvest time. Actually, it looks like a little past harvest time, but you get the idea. I don't quite get it, but I think when like 7 or 8 zones turn on at once, the lights dim in the house. That makes sense. I don't know. It's just,
Yeah.
and here's the other thing. Who replaced that one?
Oh, yeah.
Because they're all the old style. That's a newer style. Who replaced that one? It couldn't have been me, because I am not that wiry. Someone very long, lean, and skinny with a circus family background would have had to have done that one. Again, why do we do things like this? Now, we like this a lot better, right? We dig this. We know that how hard that is to do. Those of us in the trades, I mean, we look at this and go, yeah, man, that's what it's all about. I like that. We love this stuff because it's straight plumb. It's a lot of work, man. It is a lot of work, and it took an incredible amount of skill to do that. I look at that, however, and I say, okay, did we need, what is it? What down there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different water temperatures. I think that's a little bit much. Okay, that's a little bit much even for any kind of a radiant system. 7 water temperatures. No, you need 1 per installation method, really. And also, I mean, you guys have seen this too, and you folks out there might understand, is you look at this and we dig it, but the homeowner looks at it and goes, why the hell did you install a nuclear submarine in my basement? You know, if you die, I'm screwed. So what the hell? You know, they look at it, it's not, we look at, that's job security. Well, you're going to die someday, pal. So think about the homeowner, you know. And then lastly, just because I don't want everybody to think we're picking on circulators, because zone valves have inherent issues as well.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I look at this thing, and you know, I'm still waiting for the day to some guy to show this in a class, and some guy looks at it and goes, "Where'd you get that picture of my job? You know, you're making fun of my work." I mean, I don't get it, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So, one isn't, in our opinion, my opinion anyway, and this is only my opinion, is there's no freaking difference. If there are pros and cons to both, as long as you understand the cons of your decision and you're okay with that, go right ahead. Go right ahead. So but just be open to other alternatives. And I will say this: if you are proud of the fact that you design and install the most energy efficient systems in the industry, I'm going to suggest to you that zone valves have to be part of the equation, because if for no other reason, the electrical consumption aspect. Okay, 1 circulator and 5 zone sentry zone valves will use about 80% less electricity than 5 circulators. And you want to know the math behind that? It's simple. 1 circulator is 80% fewer circulators than 5 circulators. And zone sentry zone valves don't use anything for electricity. So it's pretty straightforward. So electrical consumption is part of the equation. So if you want to promote the fact that you do design and install the most energy efficient systems in your area, zone valves really should be part of that discussion. They really should be. So let's talk about why zone valves. Why would you zone with zone valves? Well, the easy answer is why not? Okay, why not? Zone valves, especially these zone sentries, are pretty rock solid and pretty darn reliable. They are pretty darn reliable. The maintenance is very easy, and the wiring is all low voltage, so no one's going to get hurt. Okay, But and with the zone sentry zone valves, you want to replace the head, you just depress a lever and
Pop
off
it
they
off.
pop, and you just take out the terminals and stick them back in. You don't even have to do any rewiring. Dave's showing you one right there. So the maintenance is easier, the wiring is easier, the space is less. We don't get that wing of the basement anymore, do we?
No.
To create our hydronics masterpiece. We're now trying to put 10 pounds of hydronic, into a 5-pound closet. Zone
Yeah.
valves give you that opportunity to put it in a smaller space than zone valves. So there's the space aspect of it, and the energy consumption part is much lower. A lot of folks will say, well, zone valves are cheaper. Well, and cheaper is a terrible word because cheap denotes crappy. Are they less expensive? Is one circulator and 5 zone valves less expensive than 5 circulators? What were you doing, David? My cousin Vinny thing, right? Good ass kicking, $200, that kind of thing. Yeah, that's kind of where we are in that discussion. It's I don't think there's much of a difference. And if you're losing a job because you went one way or the other, you didn't lose the job because you went one way or the other. There's other things at play here.
Yeah.
So I think those are the whys for zoning with zone valves. Now, yes, the redundancy argument is the go-to argument for circulator folks, and I get that, absolutely get that, because if the pump fails, there's no heat. If I got 5 pumps and one fails, I have 4 pumps. Again, we learned that. That's first grade math, right? We learned that. Like if Lesley had 5 oatmeal cookies and I took one, she'd still have 5 oatmeal cookies because I wouldn't take one. So yeah, if the pump fails, there's no heat. Either way, it's a service call. You're going back one way or the other. But Dave, you do this better than anybody I know. What is it that kills circulators?
Outside of giving a circulator premature death, all right.
Yeah.
We design. I know the engineers at Takeo, and when we started coming out with the new ECM, I spent some time with the guys upstairs, and I said, so how long is this thing gonna last, right? Especially when we look at the new e-pumps, because everybody, that 007 is 50 years old. So, and there's jobs with them still running out there, right? So we designed circulators to do 250,000 cycles, meaning how many times it turns on and off. That's our design. Doesn't mean that's gonna die right after that. So what that means is the material choices, the bearing choices, everything that we design into the circulator is designed to turn on and off 250,000 times minimum. That's our minimum count on the circulators. Now we could design a circulator that would do 500,000 cycles. That's easy. The downside to doing that is the circulator has just tripled in cost, and nobody would buy it, right? I don't need it to last 75 years, right? So, but now when you start thinking about a zone valve system, and we're starting to think about cycle counts that are going on with the mechanical equipment going on, the lower the cycle counts, the better, give me a longer lifespan.
Right.
So let's say you've got a zone valve system. Zone valve 1 turns on, turns the pump on. Zone valve 2 turned on, pump's already running. Zone valve 3, zone valve starts satisfying. So
careful which one you satisfy next, buckaroo.
I know. Zone 3 never satisfies here. Yep. Yep. We got to stay PG on this, right?
Yeah.
So your cycle count actually drops because you have zone valves on the system. So the circulator's not turning on and off as much. And, when we started thinking about zoning systems 50 years ago, how many zones did you get in the house?
One.
One zone. Today, what's normal?
No, nothing.
There's
nothing.
No such thing as normal. Yeah, there's no normalcy to the number of zones today. You could see 3, you could see
20.
7. Yeah. Right. So now, if you were to zone by circulator, and we've seen this over the last 20 years, number of zones have gone up. 3, 4 is, we see a lot of 3, 4 zone systems, and we're getting phone calls saying, hey, we got a part of the house that's not working. And you come over and you find a dead circulator and you say, well, you know what, that circulator's dead. I don't trust circulators to put in 1 pump and 5 zone valves,
right?
Because I see pumps fail all the time. Well, the reason why we see pumps failing a little more prematurely, not lasting that 18 years. By the way, 250,000 cycles equates to about 18 years in a single zone system. oh, they're failing a little bit sooner. Well, you hit that cycle count a heck of a lot faster on zone pump systems with multiple zones. So
especially since they're oversized.
Yeah.
They're going to be oversized anyway.
That too, correct. Yep.
There you go. And I always ask people when they say redundancy is important, and I say, well, okay, how many boilers you putting in? Just the one? That doesn't make any sense. No, redundancy is important unless it's too much money. There you go. Circulators are, as Dave said, circulators are pretty doggone reliable. Okay, 18 years, that kind of thing. And if you are committed to the overall lowest energy consumption, zone valves do have to be part of the discussion. They just have to be. They have to be. So why zone with circulators? Well, again, why not? Circulators are pretty doggone reliable. There is that redundancy. And I think if you got, maybe, you were talking about, having customers, Lesley, or yours far away from where your headquarters is, where your base of operations is, maybe that redundancy is kind of valuable. It's kind of important. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you there. And here's the dirty little secret when it comes to zoning with circulators that I don't think a lot of people admit. They don't say out loud at parties and things like that, is if every zone has its own circulator, it's pretty freaking hard to undersize a circulator. It's really hard to undersize a circulator. In fact, it's almost freaking impossible to undersize a circulator because nobody makes circulators that would be undersized in a normal zoning package that like we do here in North America. It's just almost impossible. So you don't have to know that much about circulator sizing if you ram the water the hell through every zone at a crazy rate, whether it wants to go or not, with an oversized circulator. So you've got some leeway there if you're concerned. Now, that said, sizing Circs for zone valves is pretty simple. It really is very simple. It's one pump for the entire job. So this one right here is the circulator we're sizing for the heating system. Okay, so we have to size that circulator for the total flow rate, the entire GPM of the entire house for a residential application. One pump's doing the whole house. But for head loss, we only have to size it for the worst case head loss zone only. We don't have to add up the head from all of the zones. You just pick the worst case one, because what we're looking at here is what we call a parallel piping system as opposed to a in-series piping system. I don't have to overcome the head through zone 1 plus the head through zone 2 plus the head through zone 3 because the same water isn't going through zone 1, zone 2, and zone 3. It's not going in a loop. I got a little bit going here, I got a little bit going here, and I got a little bit going here. So I only have to size that for the worst case head loss zone only because, again, parallel piping system. If my worst case head loss zone is 6 foot ahead and the other two are 4 foot ahead, well, if I can overcome 6 foot ahead, I sure as heck can overcome 4 foot ahead without even breaking a sweat, right? I've already passed 4. I'm already at 6, so I can certainly overcome that without any issue. So here's the process. Let's say my total heating load for the structure, 75,000 BTUs under design condition. Remember our universal hydronics formula. GPM equals BTUH divided by delta T times 500. In this case, we're going to use a delta T of 20. All right, so 75,000 divided by 20 times 500, or 10,000. The required flow rate, of course, is 7.5 gallons per minute. That's what we need. So circulator's got to do 7.5 gallons a minute. Then to calculate the head loss, we just measure the longest run, and that's from the Gazzouta side of the circulator all the way back through into the Gazinda side of the circulator. And you simply measure that up, estimate it as best you can. If it's a replacement, you estimate it as best you can. All right. And then you calculate the head out. So let's say that biggest zone is 30,000 BTUs or 3 gallons a minute. And that length we estimate to be 140 feet. Okay, including the baseboard and everything else, or the radiators, whatever they are. We include all of that, 140 feet. To convert, we can't count the fittings, so to allow for the fittings, we're simply going to multiply 140 times 1.5. We're going to add 50% to that length to allow for valves and fittings and stuff that's in the way. All right, so 140 times 1.5 is 210. So 210 is our equivalent length. We know our flow rate's 3 gallons a minute. Now we go and look at this here chart, my favorite chart from the Copper Development Association's Copper Tube Handbook. And forget the entire book except for table 6. That's a pressure loss of water due to friction in types K, L, and M copper tubing, but it is in PSI per linear foot. So the way we use that is we go over here and we find 3 gallons a minute 3 gallons a minute, we're going to be using 3/4 inch, let's say type M copper. If you can see my cursor, we're going to follow this line all the way over to 0.009. That's the PSI, pressure loss in PSI for 1 foot of pipe. Okay, that's for 1 foot of pipe in PSI. Now, my total equivalent length is 210 feet, so I'm going to multiply 0.009 times 210, and that comes to a pressure loss or friction loss through that loop of 1.9 PSI. Now, I remember from day one of plumbing school, Eddie and Prussia at Leominster Trade taught me this. 1 PSI is equal to 2.31 feet of head, because a column of water 2.31 feet high has a gauge pressure at the bottom of 1 PSI. So 1.9 PSI times 2.31 feet of head per PSI, the head loss for that 3-zone 75,000 BTU system is 4.5 foot of head. Not a lot of head, because I don't have to add them up. So the circulator I need is going to do 7.5 gallons a minute. It's going to need to do 7.5 gallons a minute at about 4.5 feet ahead. Here's what it looks like if I'm choosing the Taco 0015E3, our 3-setting ECM variable speed circulator. Well, Glorioski, Captain Kilowatt, I'd set that sucker to low. All right, let's put it at low right there. That works. That's going to work fantastic. That's actually going to be a very properly sized circulator. It's going to vary its speed as the zones open and close, and it's going to work very, very well with minimal electrical consumption from the circulator. That works out great. If I wanted to go with the Delta T circulator, the Taco VT2218, and our as yet unnamed new Delta T circulator, it's going to be coming out in January, which we are wicked psyched about. As we say here in New England, it's going to be a wicked pissa pump. You don't have to actually, you don't really have to do any of this stuff. If you know that the flow and the head is going to be somewhere within that green wedge, skip the steps we just did, install the circulator, put the sensors on, and it will eventually, ultimately, actually fairly quickly size itself based on the delta T of the system, because the delta T is the thing. If we fix the delta T, the flow will adjust to match the load. Okay, the flow will adjust to match the load. Now, if you install this circulator, let's say in this time of year when we're nowhere close to design conditions, I'd bet you $50 that circulator is going to sit at that line A, which is minimum speed, because the load is so low, you can't go slower than slow. The load is so low that we don't need 7.5 gallons a minute. We might need 3 gallons a minute for the entire system. So where the system curve intersects the pump curve is going to be right on that minimum speed, and it'll be going its minimum speed. As it gets colder out, the pump will speed up. When we are at design conditions, it'll do that 7.5 gallons at 4.5 feet ahead. But you don't, here's the cool part is it will ultimately size itself, which is pretty cool. All righty, any good questions come in there, Dave?
No, we've got a couple of comments that came in. So one comment from Vital was saying now with 007E circulators, zone valves make more sense today. Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. So but it's way easier to oversize circulators.
Yeah. It's hard, but it's not just it's easier to oversize. It's hard not to.
Yep. So we didn't get any questions coming in here, but I know there was a kick out on the Facebook side of things, and we got it back up and running again. So it's all good there.
Okay.
At the same time,
I see one on YouTube YouTube here. It says, "What is your preference for pump placement on the supply, pumping away, or putting the pump on the return?" I think if you're building a system from the ground up, or replacing a boiler and replacing the entire pump tree, yeah, supply all the way, every day, pump away. There's no reason not to. If there is a circulator that is dead on a system, that circulator is on the return side, there's no reason to put it on the supply side. Circulator's been working great for a generation, all right, on the return side, probably because it's the right pump, probably a higher flow, lower head, flatter curve circulator, like a B&G 100 or a Taco 110, Red Baron, that kind of thing. If that pump finally dies and you need to replace it, don't replace it with a 3-speed circulator and set it to high. For goodness sake, don't do that. I would look for a flat curve pump, a circulator that's high flow, low head, because that pump you're replacing, maximum head's about 6, maybe 5 or 6 foot ahead. You want something that's going to do 5 or 6 foot ahead. Otherwise, you're going to create problems where there were none before. So that's a great question. And that question is hat worthy. Christina, Get that guy's info. All right. Get that guy's info. He's going to get himself a hat. Are we done with the hats? Have we given away all the hats now? I think we have.
But where did he come in from? Was he
He's
YouTube or?
on YouTube.
YouTube.
Yep. That
What's
is
his-
Jackson Haynes 671. Jackson Haynes 671.
Got him. All right. Thanks, guys.
You the man, Jackson. That's all right. That's all right. And now we still have.
I'm gonna add on to that, John.
You go right ahead.
No way. Yeah. So and it's going to be actually short because we did this in the beginning of our season of this Takeover After Dark summer training series webinar / podcast. So we actually covered off on it twice. We showed it in theory, and then we did it in the field as well. So take a look at that past streams that we have out there. So that's it. Yep, that's all I wanted to end on. So cool.
Very good, very good. And we still have we still have our hoodie to give away. Our Carhartt, what is it? The Carhartt hooded zippered sweatshirt.
Nice.
It's pretty nice, man. It's pretty nice. I'm just saying.
Never have too many hoodies.
Oh, I'm telling you, there's no such thing. Quarter zips and hoodies. They make the world go round. That and you've seen my office, golf clubs.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Dave, you want to take over with picks from the field?
All right, picks from the field. So those guys. So for everybody that's online with us right now, if you are on socials and you're trying to add pictures and you want to put job sites up there, but you get nervous because there's so many guys bash them immediately, that they would do it totally different, right? I mean, I'm sure you've seen it a lot of times as well, Lesley.
Yeah.
And it's just, that's not what we're trying to do here, right? You're proud of your work that you did, and I mean, yes. Some of those pictures that John was showing earlier, we don't know where they came from. We've had them for decades, all right, and use them all the time. So usually those questions, those show up on the socials because, hey, someone's trying to fix that mess on what's going on. So picks from the field, and you'll see this QR code on the screen for those of you out there. You got some pictures you want to share. We want to celebrate them. All right, we want to celebrate them. We want to show them here. So if you put some stuff out there, we put them up here. We're going to make sure you get recognized for that as well. So make sure you send some stuff to us. We want to show it off for you. So this week, we didn't get any from since the last episode to today. So picks from the field is actually where I am today, and where I am right now is not that place.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I want to talk about. Yeah.
You did all that today?
Yeah.
You repiped all of that?
That looks like somebody.
This was somebody saying that zone circulators was the way to go, right?
Yeah.
And
that looks like that's like a whale's intestines. I don't know. Is it just me? Anybody else seeing that? I don't know.
Oh man, what a mess.
Yeah,
Yikes.
it is messy. So no, that's not where I am today. Again, this is one of those old projects I've had hanging around for years, showing this thing off. So where I am today, I'm in a training center called PPA Tech, Pennsylvania Petroleum Association, their technical education center. And I have a training class here set up tomorrow, and they let me come in here tonight. So instead of me doing Takeover After Dark from a hotel room, that I'm in the lab, and you'll see
Nice.
right behind me. And what you see here is a couple of zone valve applications. So they have, let's see, just in this lab alone, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 boilers in this one room. All right. And they can also, and I know somebody had commented on the venting that was right over here. And what they can also do here is bring in some furnaces and hook up to that venting and shut off the boilers. And so now we got furnaces that are rolled into this. So they're trying to make this room a multi-purpose lab as well. So here you see a couple of job sites where we're showing cast iron boilers with zone circulators. So you see the one on the left-hand side is zone Circs. The one on the right side is also doing zone circulators, but they had an AC and an ECM. This is a hands-on lab. They are taking these boilers apart. They're ripping everything down. And they'll also do some of the wiring as well. So, and this is a brand new facility. They just moved here about 5-6 months ago.
Wow.
And I have a training class tomorrow here. And, we're out near Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And tomorrow's class, we have a couple of New Yorkers. We got some locals that are coming in. We've also had people from Maine as far as Alaska show up to this facility as well. So it's not just for this region. So they have a lot of different programs out there. So this is one portion of the boiler room. Let's see the next one. I think is some zone pumps as well, right? No. Okay, so here we pulled in a couple of zone circulators. So the one on the left-hand side is an energy kinetics. This was the oil lab. All right, so that was in the oil lab, which is over there. They got another 8 boilers in the oil side of things too.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
So here you can see we got a couple of zone valves with a standard 007 circulator, and then on the right-hand side you see the Navion, which actually is right over there that I can see, with a couple of zone valves on it as well. And the last picture here is the job site that's right behind me, because those are people that say it depends, right? So you got zone valves and zone circulators on this one too. So they designed it and said, this is what we got going on. So we got a 7E and a setup on this one, 15E over here, and then this is the 0018E variable speed circulator, so they can download it and take a look at the app and see the circulator and set it up properly. So we showed a couple of different zone valve options in here too. So wonderful facility here. And and if you guys remember from a couple of years ago, I did visit a whole bunch of trade schools over the years. And one thing I noticed is, and I'm sure Lesley, you noticed it too, they're full.
Mhm.
They're full of students.
Yep.
I know we're all itching for them to get out. All right. So
Yep.
they're coming is what I'm trying to say too at the same time. So I know we're entering into the heating season, and most people here are thinking about those next 12 to 14 to 16-hour days to keep the heat on. But the next level, the next generation is definitely coming in most of the trade schools that I've seen out there. So
Yeah, waitlist.
Yep. So that's my picks from the field is where I am today. So like I said, anybody out there, you got some job sites you want to share with us, please do. And what do we got going on for the rest of the year? So tonight is actually our last Takeo After Dark of 2025.
We think.
Yeah, I know we got some ideas.
We have a special holiday thing we're kicking around. I'm thinking the 12 pumps of Christmas. I just got to get Dave on board. If everybody would like to see this happen, Dave's the one holding it up, not me. I just want everybody to know that.
Is he being Grinch?
Dave is being a Grinch. He's being a pre-Thanksgiving Grinch, which is he's being very Grinchy, very Grinchy. I just want everybody to know I want to do a holiday one. You tell us if Dave is right or wrong. That's all I want.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Just think the 12 pumps of Christmas. Wouldn't that be sweet?
That'd be cool.
All right. I'll have to give it some more thought now that I get pressured into it now, right? Yeah.
Oh yes,
Right,
very yes. This is a loaded gun pointed right at you.
Yeah. All right. Where in the world is the rest of the training team? What are we doing right now going on for the rest of the world? So Jason, who couldn't make it with us tonight, he is actually currently in training in Washington and Idaho. So he knew he was busy today, so that's why he couldn't join us. And right now, I know he's tentative working on something in December, heading up to your neck of the woods, Lesley. So I'm not sure how that's working out just yet. So it looks like he's going to be coming doing some training classes near that way. So that's all I know at the moment.
Cool.
So if you want to find a training with Jason, make sure you contact the Takeo reps that you have in the area. They'll know. And I'm not sure which reps he's working with right now. So that's what he's got going on. The next slide is what I've got going on. So as you can see here, I am in Grantville, PA right now for today and tomorrow. Next week, I'm in Rhode Island. I've got some training classes. I've got a contractor coming in, and we're doing some specialty training for them that are locally up in the Boston area. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Connecticut area. They're coming to Rhode Island, and I'm doing a tour, and I'm actually working with the engineering team on an install as well. I'm back here again in December, 3rd and 4th, the first week, doing some full day hydronic classes. So you guys want to come down to Pennsylvania for 1-day class? It's 2 days, same day, same topic, both days. All right, so you're not coming for 2 days, you're coming for 1 day. And for those guys out in Massachusetts, Central Mass chapter in Auburn, I'm going to be hooking up in the OESP chapter evening, doing a training class on the new controls. All right, look that way, right there. So the Dash 5 controls that you see over my shoulder, as well as going over. It's going to be actually we're going to do something a little bit different for that meeting that night. We're going to do it more like a round table instead of a presentation. So we're just going to get as many people that show up. We've typically we get about 15 people that show up to this meeting. The room can hold 50. That's been a challenge that we've got right now going on. So if you guys want to come and you want to learn about the new controls and you got some questions, we're going to do a roundtable discussion rather than a lecture style thing. So look forward to seeing you guys. And JB, what are you up to?
Well, I'm going to be playing nursemaid for the next few weeks. So it's good to be the king. Because I am, believe it or not, they saw it wise to put me in charge of this group of people. So, so I'll be holding the home fort down, working on a lot of special projects and getting this 12 pumps of Christmas off the ground, because it does seem like everybody seems to like this idea, Dave. So I'm sorry, I think you're going to have to. You're going to have to.
Bar.
Hit what?
You got to advance the slide here for a second.
Oh, giving Dave extra work. Yes.
I created the slide deck, so I had a feeling that was.
Oh man, that's funny.
It's Dave.
John didn't read it, so.
Yeah, no, I read it. I just forgot it was there. That's all right, Dave. Yeah, it seems like that's what you're asking for. So let me get out my notebook, and we'll find enough to keep you busy for the next couple of months. So it is good to be the king. It is good to be the king. All right. Well, cool. Hey, now we got to figure out who's going to get our jacket. Our Carhartt hooded zippered sweatshirt.
It's not zipped. It's a full hood.
Nope.
Starring, and it's navy. And John, I don't have any of the hat winners. They have not submitted, so I can't turn on the form for the hood.
Oh dear.
Winners, Chris.
Oh dear. So we've got Jackson Haynes 671 on YouTube.
Yep, I haven't seen any submissions yet. I'm gonna double check them now, but I've got those hats in so I can turn on the hood.
Okay, you guys are winners. You gotta raise your hand and let Christina know. All right, just type it. If two of them were on GoToWebinar, so type in your stuff right now, just so we know. And then Jackson, if you're out there on YouTube land, man, let us know who you are.
Jackson's all good. I've got his. He's the only one, but I gotta get the other two hats before I can turn the hood on.
All right, now who did we give those to? Let's go back here.
I don't remember.
It's Doug and Doug and Chris. They're in GoToWebinar, and I sent them both private chats with the links. I'm sure you guys saw them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, you guys got those links. You got to fill that stuff out, so we'll get those right out to you.
Cool.
So there. So and I'm going to go on a limb here. One of the most consistent commenters on GoToWebinar was Leroy Hogland. And he said Delta T right away when it came to selecting a pump. And anybody who knows me knows Delta T is the key to my heart. So if you guys don't have any objections, Lesley or Dave, I'm going to say Leroy Hogland should get the Carhartt hoodie. It's unanimous. Leroy, if you're there, make sure you get your information to Christina, and we'll make sure you get your shirt. We got a couple of last minute questions in here too that we could probably answer if you'd like.
Leroy, I'm going to send you that link so you can fill that out.
All right, Leroy, you got to do your part, and we'll get your stuff there.
Nice.
Yes.
Got Chris's hat, and we just need Doug. Get in there.
All right, Doug Speck.
I probably have his address somewhere. Doug has been able to probably outfit his entire neighborhood.
I think so.
Apparel over the years, yeah. So, him and Rich,
here's a good question.
They can fill a football stadium right now.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it'd be a green wave.
Yeah.
Good question from Robert O'Brien, aka Bobo, from way back when. Bob, how you doing, man? Why 20 degree for a Delta T? Why is it 20 degrees for Delta T? Well, we can go back and say, well, it was industry standard, yada, yada, yada. The reason we have used 20 degrees for delta T, I'll go back to, I'm sure you've heard this story, Bob, from Holohan. It's way back when in the early days of hydronics, there was no standardization. Every boiler company had their own way of doing things. It was kind of like the Wild Kingdom, and shit was blowing up and stuff, and it was kind of crazy. And they got the boiler manufacturers got together and they decided to standardize practices. So there was some sort of consistency within the industry. And one of the things they standardized was a design for delta T of 20. Why 20, you may ask? Makes the math easy. 20 times 500 is 10,000. It's always going to be 10,000. It's never going to not be 10,000. Try multiplying 20 times 500 a bunch of different times and see if you get a different answer other than 10,000. You won't. Okay. So that makes it very easy. That makes it easy to do the math. 20 is also a good number. You got a nice temperature drop. The boiler has to raise temperatures 20 degrees. It's good for consistency. It's good for efficiency. It's good for longer run times as best we can do that. Now, the 500, of course, is multiplying the weight of a gallon of water times the minutes in an hour times the specific gravity of the fluid times the specific heat of the fluid. Gallon of water weighs 8.33 pounds, 60 minutes in an hour, almost everywhere. I think even in Canada, Lesley, I don't know if there's an exchange rate problem there. I'm not sure. Specific gravity of the fluid of 100% water is 1. Specific heat of the fluid of 100% water is 1. 8.33 times 60 times 1 times 1 is 499.8. Call that 500, man. Glycol changes things. We don't need to get into that problem, but that's why the 20. Now, residential radiant, we typically design to a 10, and that's just done for the consistency of floor surface temperatures and comfort. So there you go. Great question, Bob.
Yeah.
There you go. And what else do we have here? If someone is concerned about a zone valve system with a single circulator, a standby circulator could be installed along with an automatic pump sequencer. Bingo, redundancy. That's from Jack Getkin. Sure, absolutely. Why not? Why not? You can do that. And if it, or it doesn't even have to be automatic. Just say, all right, well, this pump's dead. Click, click. We're back in business, right? That's pretty easy to do. And George says, I dislike pumps. I dislike systems with pump on the return feeding the boiler. I just bought an older home with a 0010 on the return. The problem with the pump with the suction side on the radiator side is that if the run is long, it's easy to get negative NPSH. Whereas if the suction side is fed from the boiler, there will always be a positive pressure on the pump, typically 12 psi. Yes, that's true. It's hard to get a negative NPSH in a residential system. Those pumps are so small that they have such a low net positive suction head required. It's really, really impossible to get into what we call cavitation. And cavitation is little implosions going on in the circulator. It sounds like marbles in there because of low net positive suction head available. The pressure on the inlet side so low. It's really hard for that to happen with a 0010 or anything like that. Not unheard of, but it's rare. There are other issues.
Usually on a steam system. You're trying to pull hydronics off a steam boiler.
Right off the bottom. Yeah. Then you'll get it. Or in a wood boiler, outdoor wood boiler. They want to see those pumps on, on a steam system. If you're pulling it off the bottom of steam, you put that pump on the floor, for God's sakes. So there's as much water above that level as possible. So you've got some pressure coming into it. And in a wood boiler, you want it as low as possible. A good bit below the water line. Keep it really, really low. So you got a lot of head pressure going on to the inlet side, so you won't have any issues there. Those are the 2 times you'll see cavitation residentially.
I've got to do a wood boiler like in a few weeks.
Keep the pump low.
Yeah.
Keep
good
the pump low. How low
Dig a
can
hole
you
and
go?
put it in the ground.
Yeah.
Okay. Seriously,
go deeper.
Yeah. You'd like about a 2 foot of straight pipe going into that, filled with water, going into the inlet side of the pump.
Okay.
Cool.
Hey guys, sorry to interrupt. So Doug filled out the form too late, so when I turned on the hoodie, so he filled out for a hoodie. Doug, I need to just tell me in the chat. I sent you a message what color hat you want. You're getting a hat, and Leroy, I need you to fill out for your hoodie so we can get you that. Chris filled out twice. You're only getting one item, my friend. You're not.
But I
Bad-
admire the moxie, Chris. I admire the moxie. There you go.
So, yeah, this is weird. It's like showing them the hood size and the hats for some reason. I don't know
Oh well.
why. It's like I do have, I shut that off. Looks like I do have a hat and a hoodie for Doug. So, Doug, you're all set, but you're not getting a hoodie. And Chris, you're only getting a hat. So, waiting on you, Leroy, and then we're good to go.
And I think we could probably look up Leroy if we need to. Leroy, just give us your size. We've got your information on in GoToWebinar too. We could probably
It's much preferred if you fill
dig it out there.
Pain, but easier to send it off for fulfillment. It's just faster.
Bob says never ask a question you don't know the answer to. My wife is really good at that.
Yeah, we're good. We got everybody. Thank you all.
Oh, hey, all right. That's cool. Hey, Lesley, thank you so much for being with us. You know,
Yeah,
this went
thank you
on a
for
little longer than we
having
thought, but it was such a joy to talk to you as always.
Yes, same. Right back at you guys.
And we will see you in Las Vegas.
Yes.
5-iron in hand.
Yep.
All right. What's your cap down? What's your cap these days?
With my 9 balls.
Yes, you're not you're 3/4 of a dozen Pro V1s. Yes.
I think my handicap is resting around the same. I'm like at 18 or 19.
Okay, so that
Yeah.
means I'm playing with 6. Okay, you get 12 shots.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. And as just so everybody knows, we've had 3. This is our fifth year of doing the Ryder Cup. But we've only had 3 actual competitions because one was in Chicago and it didn't happen.
Yeah, it snowed.
In January, just not gonna work.
Yeah.
Canada won the first 2. Thanks, Dave.
I tied mine. I didn't lose. I tied.
We needed you to win. All right, we needed you to win.
I tied.
As captain of the team, my job was in serious jeopardy. So we came through in a Stableford competition. We won last year in Orlando, and we're going to take you down again here, kid, in Vegas. This is our year.
They're predicting Vegas for a win.
Big time victory. That's right. I tell you what, these are tough. These are tight, tough matches too. This is really good competition. It's pretty good. It's
I might
good.
have to go to the sim.
There you go. Get your game polished.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, listen, Lesley, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Everybody out there in webinar land and in cyberspace, thank you so much for being with us. We so much appreciate it. Mr. Holdorf, you're the man. And you just so you know, the audience agrees with me. The 12 pumps of Christmas will happen.
They're voting.
There you go.
The elves have spoken.
The elves have spoken. There you go.
Oh, I was hoping I got voted off the island, but I guess.
Oh.
Well, no. We'll talk about your duties for this one coming up. I mean, it's going to involve a Santa suit, that I know. All righty, folks. All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
have
Lesley.
a wonderful Wednesday night and a very great Thanksgiving, because we won't see you again until.
And to Christina. All right,
Christina.
From behind, that comes in, our producer out here helping us out with this too. So thank you, everybody. Yes, thanks.
Night all.
It's a village. It's a village that gets this going. So
yes,
awesome.
absolutely.
Thanks, everybody.
Absolutely. And every village needs an idiot. That's my job. So here we go. See you later, everybody. Good night.
Okay, good night.